buddhi prakasham mumukshurvai sharanamaham prapatye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vamsharishibhyo Mahatbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Sarvopaplavarahitah Prajnanaganaha Pratyagartho Brahmaivahamasmi Brahmaivahamasmi. वेदांतार्थविभासकाय गुरवे शांताय सन्यासिने नानावादी नगेन्द्रसंगमवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने सर्वतंत्र स्वतंत्राय सदात्माद्वैतवेदिने श्रीमते शंकरार्याय वेदांत गुरवे नमः। योऽवतीर्ण इहाचार्य रूपेण यतीनामुदे श्रीमन्नारायणं वन्दे तं हरिं करुणानिधिं मननाख्यं प्रकरणम् वासुदेव यतीश्वरै रचितं विस्तरेणाद्य संग्रहेण प्रकाश्यते बालानाम् उपकाराय मम विज्ञानसिद्धये तत्र श्री बालगोपाल कृष्णः सन्निहितो भवेत्। ओम एवं उक्तं त्रिविधमपि कर्म कर्मोत्कृष्टं मध्यमं सामान्यम इति प्रत्येकम त्रिविधम. Now we know, since we are endowed with these three instruments through which the karma is performed. One is the physical body, the speech, and the mind. So we have these three instruments through which action is executed. Now, that also means that actions also will have three categories. One is punya karma, papa karma, and the mishra karma. A mixture of papa and punya. Now, in what proportion that mixture is going to be is always going to be a floating thing. So now we have seen that what do we understand by kayikam punya karma. Kayikam means executed through the body, because kaya means body, the physical body. So over here, kayikam karma also can be punya karma, papa karma, and mishra karma. Then executed through the vani, it will be called as vachikam karma. That vachikam karma also again will be of these three types. Then finally, you have manasa karma, and that manasa karma will also be, or manasikam karma. Okay, will be three types again. Okay. Evamuktam trividamapi karmotkrishtam madhyamam samanyam pratyekam trividham. Okay. Now, in that also, the punya karma again will be utkrishta punya, madhyama punya karma, and samanya punya karma. Now, you look at this, create a flow chart in your mind. Now, these are three further trifurcations of each papa punya and mishra karma. Then papa punya, vachika papa punya also will also again get trifurcated. The kayika punya karma will also get trifurcated, and the manasa punya karma will again get trifurcated. Then again there will be trifurcation of the what do they call papa karma. Then there again will be trifurcation of the mishra karma. Okay, so this is how, it is like the nervous system, where the mainstream, main nerve, then it gets bifurcated, trifurcated, and still it goes on becoming more and more, splitting into thinner branches till it can reach the ends of the periphery of the body, peripheral limits of the body. So now, tathahi hiranyagarbhadi shariram punyakarmotrishtam. Okay. How, what is this hiranyagarbha? The total sukshma sharira. In order to acquire that, how should the punya karma be? Utkrishta punya karma. Okay, that will be the utkrishta punya karma. Indradi shariram. So now even to be these heavenly gods and live in those immortal worlds also require, because those, the punya that you have performed now cannot be experienced, its phala cannot be experienced as a human being, because your body is not capable of taking that experience. Okay. Then that, in order to experience the punya phala, you have to have the body of these that gods in the heaven. So Indradi Shariram, how is it? Punya karma madhyamam. So even those becoming the gods in the heaven and enjoying the heavenly experiences is what? Punya karma. But how is that punya karma? Madhyamam. Okay. Then Yaksharakshasa Pishachadi Shariram Punya Karma Samanyam. In Hinduism, we do not have this concept of God versus samsaka. For us, what is there? Other than Parmeshwara, there is nothing. So there are no two parties fighting over here for whose supremacy it's going to be. Because these people, when they say now these are the two people who are fighting, which means they are equally ambitious. Because both of them are equally ambitious, wanting to have their territory marked. Now, how different it is from some imperialist, ambitious person over here. And then, in order to create, show who's supreme and who's more powerful, the mortals are getting affected. Now, you're saying that, somebody has sacrificed his life in order for God to become the supreme. But what about us? We are also getting crushed unnecessarily. And then God is giving our sacrifice to prove his supremacy. What is this? The whole thing sounds to be a very absurd thing. There is nothing but Parameshwar. Now even in the gods, Indradi gods are also there. So also the Amar Kosha says that even this Yaksha, Rakshasa, Pishachadi, Shariva are also in the category of Devatas. That's why, you go into these villages and all, they will worship all these. Nothing wrong. Perfect. It sits into the this thing, and this is not some Saturn worship or anything, because there is no Saturn. Whom are you worshipping? What Saturn? Nonsense. So there, Yaksha, Rakshasa, Pishachadi, Shariram, Punya Karma Samanyam. So why are they even called as gods? Because they have powers. Trikalajnam, etc. is also there in them. That's why, somebody can do this through the mantra. He can propitiate some yaksha or something, and that yaksha will keep answering his question. And how does he know? Because that yaksha has got this power of trikalajna, of knowing even the future, past, etc. But that is also limited with them up to some point. Okay, but more than you and me. But more than anybody of us. So therefore, since they have powers which are more supreme than yours, okay, more superior than yours and power, then naturally you will bow down Hey, you bow down over here to some Samanya person who has got few lakhs more than you. And then what? And then as somebody who has worked in the office few years more than, sir, you do all that. What is that? So over here, these are the people who, these are Yaksha Rakshas and all this category also has got, more powers, superior powers. And therefore they are also worshipped. But, and they also enjoy. But that to be born, to come into that yoni of Yaksha Rakshasa, etc., that is Punya Karma Samanyam. And therefore, Ram and Ravana are fighting over there. Ravan is not ordinary, some, evil like, they have it in Christianity. No. Now you just imagine, you tell me one thing, just some logic. You are made to, you are told, sit and meditate on Sri Rama's form. How much time can you give? After 3 seconds, Swamiji, left side of Rama, I should see your right side. Ram Lalla, I should see your Raja Ravivarma's Ram. You see, now you cannot be, we are such that we cannot even hold Sri Ram, even the name, in the heart for a little while. And here is Ravana, who with his naked eyes is seeing Rama and even holding a battle with him, a duel with him. You tell me whose punya is more, yours or his? Huh? He avatar samakala he is. We are not even born avatar samakal. Look at that. The punya is so less. And then not even born, you're told that keep Rama's name in your mouth. And no, naming Rama's name, I have got supariya in my mouth. Can't. Gangua Teli. And then you want to prove that you're superior than Ravana. Oh, shut up. Anyways, this Yaksha Rakshasa Pishachadi Shariram is also Punya Karma Samanya. And that is, Ravana also has that Punya. You see, even to come close and see Sachidananda Vigraha Sri Ram like that, what do you think? It is Samanya or what? Easy? Anybody like us? No. Uh, now you understand. That's why all these things, that duel of God and another power and then fight for the power. What is this? What is this? Like some people fighting for their territories and some, gang war thing. So, Paratap, now furthermore, Paratapakaram, Kantaka Vriksha, Vishavriksha, Vyagra Sarpa, Vrishchika, Uluka, Mashaka, Chalukadi Shariram, Sarvam, Papa Karmotkristam, as a result of Utkrishta Papa. Utkrishta Papa means best Papa. Now this fellow has acquired an expertise in doing Papa. Huh? Utkrishta Papa. Papa Krittamaha. He has acquired a PhD in doing Papa. That's his area of expertise. Acumen, Papa. Paratapagaram. And so that Utkrishta Papa fellow will what? Be what? To be born as some Kantaka Vriksha. A thorny a tree in some desert. One of my teachers used to tell, when we walk past or drive past these places in Delhi, Bombay, and all that, they have these small traffic islands where you have all these trees and some plants over there. What about these plants which are standing in between those two traffic, this thing? All the time, the cars are throwing their carbon dioxide. All these poor things are standing like that. Huh? He said that now, there are Jangama Sthavara Yoni only. But some trees which are standing there in the forest, at least they are able to breathe and be there. Look at these, where they have to stand. So here, Bharatapakaram Kantaka Vriksha. So some Kantaka Vriksha, we born in a desert. And that Kantaka Vriksha has got no shadow also properly. So somebody can sit under it and then, sleep. No shadow. The shadow, you go to sleep, other Kantakas up above, everywhere. Kantaka means thorny, thorny trees. Kantaka Vriksha, Vishavriksha, Vishavriksha, poisonous trees, Vishavriksha, Vyagra, some wild animals like this, Vyagra, etc. Vyagra means tiger, lion, hyena, things like that. Sarpa, Vrishchika, now even going into that category of insects also. Sarpa, Vrishchika, Uluka, Uluka means an owl. Mashaka, Mashaka means these flies and mosquitoes. All good night, doesn't work on them. Mashaka, Jaluka Adi Sharira. Jaluka means, what do they call it? Leeches. Leeches. Jalukadi Shariram Sarvam Papakarmotrishtam. Why is it? Why? Because Paratapakaram. Because if you look at these forms of life, there is no upakara in them. At least some trees are there. Let us say even some coconut tree. Maybe somebody is walking down below and one coconut falls and this fellow goes to Vaikuntha straight. But, but that at least, getting coconuts and getting something, jackfruit, some upakara is done. There is some upakara. But what upakara these are doing mashaka and all that, only spreading what do they call that? Malaria. And therefore they are paratapakaram. However, they have that yoni is only meant only to have nuisance value. Okay, they have no upakara value. It has got only nuisance value. So therefore, paratapakaratvat, these dehas, these yonis are called as papakarmodkrishtam padam. Okay. Then panasa, amra, kadali, narikela, phala, patra pushpa, viniyogavad, vrikshalatadikam, gramasukara, mahisha, gardhava, ushradikam cha sarvam shariram papakarma madhyamam. Now, panasa. Panasa means jackfruit tree. Jackfruit, a mango. Kadali means this plantain, banana. Narikela, coconut tree. All, and then this japa kusuma and all these beautiful flowers which you can offer in the temple are patra pushpa vidyogavat, because it has got some use to someone always. Okay, in some way of the other, it is doing upakara to the world around, and therefore viniyogavat, because they have some viniyoga. Vrikshalatadikam, all those vrikshalatas and animals like gramasukara, the pigs, mahisha, the buffalo, gardhava, the donkeys, ushtra, without the ushtra in the olden days. Ushtra means camel. Camel. So, one teacher was teaching in those days in South India, a Vyakaran teacher. So he says, what? Ushtra. So there's one animal called Ushtra. Ushtra. Something called as Ushtra. So one boy, on this, Subramanyam got up and he asked, Guruji, what is Ushtra? Now this Guruji also has never seen what is Ushtra in life. Then only Guruji has heard that Ushtra is something that flies in the desert, over the sand. Because on the sand it is difficult to walk, but this fellow walks very swiftly and fast. Okay. So he says, Ushtra is something that I have heard that flies on the sand, the desert. So he told that Subramanyam, hey Subramanyam, you don't know Ushtra. Ushtra means Pakshi Vishesha. Is what? Pakshi Vishesha, some special type of a bird. Why? Because it flies on the desert. So all these things, Gram, Sukara, Mahisha, Gardhava, Ushradikam cha sarvam, Shariram, Pap, Karma, Madhyamam. How is it? It is the result of Papa Karma only. Why Papa Karma, you know? Because there is no chance that some knowledge may ever percolate. Okay? Now, there's, cows, etc., or some animals which are there close by, at least they have some knowledge. They develop some knowledge. Of course, they don't develop the knowledge of traffic in the on Indian roads, but they have that he is my you know they start, if you keep the cow and then treat it like your own family member, the cow understands that I'm a family member. These are our people. Because in my childhood I had seen big houses, I mean, big families and all that. And then the small children are always kinky, cranky, and crying and all. So and there was no problem in a joint family like that. That, some child is becoming cranky and all. One mama, one chacha will give one, what do they call it? Go sit outside. Uh, And so something like this happens, and the parents had no problem. That who scolded? Oh, you're scolding my child. You're spoiling his psychology. He will get damaged. Oh, you are yourself damaged. Nobody got really damaged, I'm telling you. We grew up all like that. Because every child was everyone's child. Uh, so then, if I was to cry and go and sit behind where our cow shed was, now there was this one cow. She would understand that this child is crying. She would come to us. She would start licking our cheeks and tears, and then will rub her head on the hair, shoulders, and all that. And we would sit next to her, roll over her, sit on her back. Everything used to happen. But if she was left outside, she was ferocious cow. Now you see, it understands. Now that cow is also sensitive. She understood. Now, there is some sort of knowledge that is there. You see this, there is knowledge. Otherwise, without that knowledge, how such behavior is possible? So there is this knowledge. So what happens is that in the Papa Yoni, this knowledge is not possible. You keep a Sarpa as your pet. That Sarpa is not going to understand that you are feeding it and that's why it has to love you or anything. You may keep it all, people keep it out of exotic animals and all, that's okay. They can keep whatever. People keep their parents also as pets. What? Then, so they're keeping all such things as pets, but they have no knowledge. It may excite you, but they have no knowledge. And therefore, wherever why knowledge? Because that papa karma is becoming an avaranam, becomes the avaranam. Avaranam means like a veil, like a concealment, and it prevents the knowledge from coming in. So also in our life, what is there? This Atma is Brahman is a simple thing to be understood. But why is that not happening? Because some Papa Karma is always there, creating the Avaranam. And this is the reason why we require the Upasana before we come to Vedanta. Okay? We require the God's grace to take us through. So now what has happened is, Grama Sukara Mahisha Gardhava Ushtratikam Cha Sarvam Shariram Papa Karma Madhyavam. Ashwatha Tulasi Bilva Gavadi Gavashvadi Shariram Papa Karma Samanyam. This is Papa Karma Samanyam. Now, people have a very strange way of looking down upon Hinduism. And then the moment you start denouncing and calling names to it, and then suddenly you are seen as some intellectual. So, and it is a very old technique. If you want to prove that you are extra buddhiman, then that what is worship, you start criticizing that. Even in the field of Darshana Shastram, even today also, if you want to call yourself great and see that, get that kind of an admiration, start criticizing Shankaracharya. Nothing happens to Shankaracharya, because if you are going to spit on the sky does not get, spoiled. But you think you're spitting on something big, Shankaracharya. So immediately, oh, he criticizes Shankaracharya. He must be great, great intellect. Immediately become an intellectual. So, so also over here, this is once what happened. Why I'm telling you this is because during my school college days, there was one debate. And in that debate, the debate was about Punarjanma. Okay, the debate was about rebirth. Now, the boy who won the debate won with 1 point. He said, in Hinduism, there is this idea that, if you do some punya karma, then you are born as a cow. And when you are, because that is the cow is worshipped, therefore you are born as a cow, and thus you are liberated and born as a cow. Where is it said? Where is it said? No, you win the debate because people started clapping. Oh, and then he said that I don't want to be reborn as a cow and die in a dairy farm. That's why I don't believe in rebirth. Won the debate. But now look at this. This even Gavadi Shariram is Papa Karma Samanyam. You understand that? Then why should we worship? Because everywhere, no matter what kind of yoni it is, yet anything that reminds you of Parmeshwara of higher becomes worshipful. Even a same stone, till yesterday it was a stone, today it may get smeared with vermilion, and then you can worship it. It becomes worshipful. So anything that reminds you of Parmeshwara immediately becomes worshipful. What is wrong? So we worship cow. But that does not mean that, the highest goal of Hinduism is to be born as a cow. Now you see, now this is a rootless criticism, but it won, people clapping for that kind of a thing. Nobody is going to ask you, where have you read it, where have you found it, anything like that. It is baseless, but you criticize and you are applauded and you can win the lottery, win the trophy, any which ways. Furthermore, Iha Manushya Loke tu, here, in this Manushya Loka itself, Nishkama Karma Anusthana, Sadhana Chatushtaya, Sadguru Labha, Shravana Manana Atmajnana Kramena, Jivan Muktehe Videha Mukteshcha, Yogyam Manushya Shariram, Mishra Karmotrishtam. Now, Devata Shariram is what? Punya, phalam of Punya Karma. Then Pashu Shariradi is what? Phalam of Papa Karma. Then of the Mishra Karma is this Manushya Sharira is the phalam of Mishra Karma. But in this Mishra Karma also, you again have got this trifurcation of Utkrishta Mishra Karma, Madhyama Mishra Karma, and Samanya Mishra Karma. Correct? Now over here, What is the Utkrishta Mishra Karma? How do you understand that? What kind of a Manushya Deha is the phalam of Utkrishta Mishra Karma? Here it is said, Nishta. If the person is able to lead his life with by the standards of dharma, basically, by the standards of dharma. And then, even when he is leading a dharmic life, dharmic life just does not mean ritualistic life, the life of duty. Okay. Then over there, Nishkama karma anushtan, the person is able to do the karma without attaching any phalecha to it. And thus, if he is able to do the Nishkama karmanushtana, karma yoganushtana, then as a result of that, he slowly and steadily starts gathering the spiritual qualities which are required for further journey. And that is sadhana chatushtaya, viveka vairagya, shamadamadi, and then mumukshuta. These are the four qualities which are required. So, and he gathers these in ample measure. So his viveka and vairagya is not chuttu puttu, you know. Charane ka nahi hai. It is in ample measure. And then sadhana chatushtaya, then furthermore, Sadguru Labh. He actually discovers a Sadguru. Sadguru means Shrotriya Brahmanishtha Guru. Sa Gurumevabhigachet Shrotriyam Brahmanishtham comes from the tradition of the Vedic teaching. Okay? So Akshunna tradition, not from Swayambhu tradition. And so he is Brahmanishtha also, the one who has realized his oneness with God. And that's why for him, Atma is Brahman, I am Brahman, he can say on the strength of his experience. Such a person he discovers and sitting at his feet, serving him, learning from him, is the phalam of what? Utkrishta Mishra Karma. Then as a result of that, Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam takes place. And then Kramena, sequentially, he is liberated even whilst living. And after the body falls, because the body has got its own time frame, after that time frame finishes, he is liberated even then after. So there is Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti. Now, in order even to have a body like this, a body which is meant to live the spiritual life, is the phalam of Utkrishta Mishra Karma. That's why, this Gita Press, Gorakhpur, Samsthapak, the founder was Seth Jai Dayalji Goenka, if you have heard. You have heard of Gita Press Gorakhpur, right? And the founder was Seth Jai Dayalji Goenka. He was a Marwadi Sethji from Calcutta. So somewhere near Calcutta is this small little place, Bakuda. So over there, one day in Bakuda or somewhere, he saw one fisherman who used to sit with his, what do they call that stick? What is it? That, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Hook, fishing, fishing hook. They call it
Fishing
what?
rod.
Fishing rod. Then he sits over there with that fishing rod. And, for hours together, he's sitting, hours together, he's sitting. And then he gets one fish, some two, three fishes. He sells that, and he's, his subsists on the income that comes through selling those one or two fish every day. So Jayadayalji Goenka went to this man, and he said, "Look, friend, how much money do you get by selling this?" In those days, whatever it is, he must have said 1 rupee or so. Then that time, whatever it was, pre-independence time now. And so 1 rupee. And let's assume 1 rupee. And then he said, I will give you double that amount. Only thing that you have to do is, if you are going to sit 5 hours over here, just come and sit in our institution where the book sales, etc. happen. Just sit over there as peredar or whatever, and I will give you double the money every day. You don't have to kill fish and sell fish. All that you do is start, just keep on saying Ram, Ram, Ram. So, you are getting money for not sitting in the sun and getting scorched over there. It's a nice thing, nice job, no, nothing to do. You got to say Ram, 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 Ram for 4 or 5 hours. And said, Ji will give me 2 rupees. Okay. So in a way, good. Double the income. Then double income. Then this man for 1 or 2 days did it, and then he came to Sethji, and he told Sethji, Sethji, I cannot do that. I can't do this. Sethji said, I'll give you even more money, but just sit and do. Ram, Ram, Ram. He said, even if you're going to give me 4 times more, I will not. He asked why. Because he says that no matter how much I try, this Ram, Ram, Ram does not happen to me. Doesn't happen to me. Now you see, even to do the spiritual sadhana, to live a spiritual life, then to live the spiritual life means not have spiritual life is not, you start gathering some strange experiences, it's called spiritual life. To get strange experiences, some chemicals are also enough. But to live the spiritual life means to live the life of karma yoga. Then as a result of karma yoga, sadhana chatushtaya starts getting accumulated. And when it is intense, then you go to the teacher. So Guru Meva Vigachet. And that Guru is also by your Sadbhagya. How is he? Shrotriya Brahmanisht Guru. And then Shravana Manana Nididhyasanam takes place. As a result, the knowledge takes place. And thus there is Jivan Mukti and sequentially Videha Mukti. To have a Manushya body in order to carry out the entire journey is the phalam of Utkrishta Mishra Karma. Okay. That's why you cannot. So everybody should do spirituality, Swamiji. Not everybody is meant. Even if you are going to pay them more and make them do that, it is not going to happen. It's not possible. Because that is not what his body is meant for. I will give you yet another example. That how, even the physical body that we are born with is also the result of some punya karma or mishra karma, which is meant to live spiritual life or not. That's why the yogi's body and a bhogi's body will have a different, there is a difference. What is it? Don't talk about difference. We are all socialist people everywhere, the same thing. Your blood is also same as ours. And how do you do that? Just you are assuming some sort of an importance to yourself. Bhai mere suno. I'll tell you one incident from one of the holy books. I have told this Shankaracharya's incident several times. One day, Shankaracharya in some village was going for this incident comes in some book, I don't know. Now, if you are going to prove its historicity and all, sir, I'm not going to fall into that. I'm just giving you this as an example. So Shankaracharya goes into some village for Diksha in the afternoon time. And in some house a little far away, on their attic, one man and a woman are in middle of their, what they call, pleasure, and they are the fire of lust, consumed by the fire of lust. Then from that window of that attic, this they saw this one yati, that sannyasi, going for a picture. Just his darshan was enough, and both of them, as if thanda pani gir gaya. Where that fire and all gone. So, which means even that body of Shankaracharya was such that its darshan also was enough to give that, you know, to calm down any kama krodhadi. Now you understand that there is even a difference in the body. By all the Western standards and all, we feel that the body which is able to evoke most desires is a great body. No, sir. Over here, we consider that body as to be a great body which is able to douse down all this kama krodhadi. That is a worshipful body. Uh, And so over here, now we understand that even to have a Manushya Sharira in which the spiritual life can be led is Mishra Karma Utkrishtam. Further, Swashramochita Karmanam Kamya Karmanam cha Anusthana Yogyam Shariram Mishra Karma Madhyamam. There are other people now who are going to say, sir, this, all your Atma, Brahma, and all these things we don't understand. All that we understand is we should live a life of morality, and we should live by the scriptural injunctions. So dharmic life, to have children, to have wife, to have children, to have your own house. I do not put my evil eye on somebody else's wealth and then, coveting it. No, nothing. So this person is genuinely living a very religious, moral life. Now here we say, even to have, to lead a life like that, the body in which such life can be led, a body in through which such life can be led, is Mishra Karma Madhyamam. So Swashrama Uchita Karmanam Kamya Karmanam Chanusthana Yogyam Shariram Mishra Karma Madhyamam, that to lead a life and perform those duties which are appropriate to your ashrama and varna. Even if you are going to do the activities to fulfill the desires, now actions which are meant to fulfill the desires is called as kamya karma. So is there anything wrong in a person doing kamya karma? Not at all, because it is also given by the Shastra. So he is still living a Shastriya life. He is living a Shastriya life. But that is not meant for spiritual. It is religious. So he will gather punya. Anusthana yogyam kamya karmanam cha anusthana yogyam shariram mishra karma madhyamam. He is not doing papa karma. Then chandala pulkasa kirata yavanadi shariram mishra karma samanyam. Now the person is just born as a human being, but he does not have any inclination to live the life of, of a moral responsibility. But I am born, and all that he knows is that he has to procreate, gather some wealth, have some security for his old age, and then one day say goodbye. That is all that he sees his life as. And as long as he is living, then he wants to have some some importance given to by other people, some respect and all these things given by enough. He is going to say that is enough. So he does not have any aspirations. So, and he says that, all this morality and all, now please don't talk to us. Niti Shastra or Dharma Shastra, don't talk to us. You live. And then even if you do anything wrong, it is not wrong as long as you don't get caught. Every wrong is right as long as it is not caught. Do it. Hmm. And therefore, in some way or the other, legitimize your wrongdoings. And they legitimize means they legalize it. So legal extortion. Legal extortion, then sometimes it is called as taxation. Huh? Leave it alone. So now these people they're living a human life only. But how is that body where there is no inclination to live a dharmic life and forget even inclination to live a spiritual life? So therefore, what happens? This kind to have a body in which one person has this is his inspiration and this is his philosophy of living. How is that body? It is a result of Mishra Karma Samanyam. You remember I told you days ago that there are people who are, you pass from one grade to the next grade, and from to pass, you just require 35 marks. So you are passed and you go and sit in the next grade. And there is yet another boy also, boy, girl, whatever, student who also sits in the same class, but he had got some distinction, 80, 90, and then he's also sitting in the same grade. Is there any difference in both of them or not? Both of them are in the same grade, but actually their grades are different. Like that, though apparently we all seem to be human beings, yet a human being who is inspired to live a spiritual life is the phalam of Mishra Karma Utkrishtam. The one who is living a moral, a religious life, okay, led by scriptures, of course, is Mishra Karma Madhyamam. And those who are simply living because now they have no other choice but to live till they die. These are the people what? Mishra Karma Samanya. Okay. Iti. Further, now we have understood all this karmas and all this. What is that finally you really want to tell us? So some conclusion is brought to you. Tasmat vivekina paurushena etat karma phalataratanyam charya भूमौ मनुष्य जन्मनि मिश्र कर्मोत्कृष्टम जन्म यथा सिद्ध्येत तथा स्ववर्णाश्रम कर्माणि कृत्वा फलेच्छां विहाय ईश्वरार्पणं कृत्वा आत्मविचारत्वा मोक्ष प्राप्तौ एव प्रयत्नः कर्तव्यः इति सिद्धान्तः. Now, from the discussion that we have had, this was a long discussion, not long discussion, because almost 2 months we didn't have class, right? I felt sick and then I was away, all these things, various stories. Then what happens? Tasmat vivekina. Now, therefore, what should a person with discrimination do? Tasmat vivekina purushena, that person, that purushena means not some male only. Purushena means by a person. Purushena etat karma phalataratamyam vicharya. Now he should contemplate about the phalataratamyam, taratama bhav. Okay? About these degrees of comparison. Positive, comparative, superlative degrees. Now you understand that. And then Taratamyam Vicharya, Bhumau on this earth, Manushya Janma, Mishra Karmotrishtam Janma. Now how this since you are hearing, which means that this definitely your body is Mishra Karma. Since you are a human being, it is Mishra Karma. Phalam. Then now you have got this opportunity to hear this. It means it is definitely Mishra Karma, Utkrishtam only. But now it is your choice whether you may have an elephant. With that elephant, you can win a battle. But then somebody decides, with my elephant, I'm going to plow the kitchen garden. Then क्या क्या करते हो उस elephant? No, मैंने coriander grow करा, धनिया. So you have a human body. It is Mishra Karmotkrishtam, through which now you have this sadhana. You can do this spiritual sadhana. But what are you doing? No, I'll do everything. No, spiritually tomorrow I'll begin. No, says no. Yatha siddhye. Now, the way you will really be able to fructify, make use of your life, siddhyeta tatha. Accordingly, do the swavarnashrama karmani, having performed the karmas which are appropriate to the varna and ashram. Thus, phalechham vihaya. And furthermore, he does not say, I'm doing this karma so that I should get money, I should get popularity, I should get recognition. I am doing it because it is my duty. And above all, this is the way I can worship Ishvara. So thus his karma becomes a form of Ishwararchana. Ishwararpanam kritva, thus everything becomes Krishnarpanam, Krishnarpanam, Shivarpanam, Durgarpanam kritva. Now, Atma Vicharatvara. Now the karma section finishes. Now, Vichara section of your life will begin, and a chapter of Vichara begins. Atma Vichara Dvara, then contemplating upon the nature of Atma as Brahman, Moksha Praptav Eva, he should strive for the moksha, for the liberation. He kartavyaha, this is what should be done. Iti siddhantaha. This is indeed the conclusion. Siddhantaha. Proven conclusion. Siddhantaha. Okay? That's why again and again do the vimarsha of phalataratamyam. Now you have understood what is phalataratamyam. Okay? All the three types of equipments, three types of karmas, and what is the phalam of all the three types of karmas. Keep contemplating on that for some time, and thus that itself will pave your path for spiritual life. This is how it is siddhanta. This is the siddhanta, proven conclusion. All right, so we come now. Etat trividhamapi karma kena kriyate iti chet. We will come. The next topic is kartrutva vicharaha. Okay, up to this, viveki kartavyam. What is the duty of a viveki? We have understood. Viveki means a person with viveka, discrimination. Then, now, next topic is very, very interesting. As what is this nature of who is the karta? Karta means the doer, doership. Where is this doership coming from? So now this is the topic which we are going to see. We will come to it tomorrow in the evening when we meet again. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishtate Om Shanti 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 Shankaram Shankaracharya Keshavam Badarayana Sutrabhasham Devaram Ishvaro Gururatmi Murtaveda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyaptadehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Thank you all. Thank you very much.